The 2010 IMF annual meeting is due to a close this weekend amid growing concern over the fate of the global economy. The mood here in Washington has been one of anxiety bordering on fear that global economic cooperation between the world's major powers has broken down. Debate has centered on fears over an outbreak of what Brazil's finance minister has called an international currency war with potentially disastrous effects.
Many do consider their currency as a weapon, and that's certainly not for the good of the global economy.
But policymakers have so far failed to ease any of the tension on currencies, principally between Washington and Beijing over the value of China's currency. And hopes are fading fast for the kind of international coordination that's needed to secure a global economic recovery. Renowned investor George Soros has also stepped into the debate, telling emerging markets in an interview that unless China revalues its currency, there's a big chance the global monetary system might break down. But China has made clear it won't bow to American demands to revalue its currency. Its central bank governor said here in Washington that making China a scapegoat solves nothing.
I think that people calm down to think more about the more fundamental reason of the crisis, of the problem, not to blame somebody else.
China has also accused the US of destabilizing emerging economies by allowing ultra-loose monetary policy to flood the emerging world with money. Some people say that the IMF should now lead the charge for greater cooperation for rebalancing the world economy, but experts wonder how much it can actually achieve.
The IMF has been vocal about the fact that the RMB is undervalued, but the IMF doesn't have any kind of leverage. Doesn't have leverage on surplus countries, and also doesn't have a leverage country on large deficit countries like the US that are not needing the IMF.
But the risks run deeper than just US-China. As concerns grow that the US economy is once again heading for a sharp slowdown, and some say even a double-dip recession, divisions are also emerging between the US and Europe, especially over the path of fiscal and monetary policy. This matters, especially as the US considers another round of quantitative easing, which many here in Washington think is just the beginning. For the rest of the world, this would mean trouble, especially for emerging economies which are already struggling with the fallout of a surge in capital inflows. In this climate, it's increasingly each country for itself, and the international cooperation which so dramatically led to the rescue of the global financial system 2 years ago shows little sign of returning.
The war against a global depression was won, but the peace is being lost.
But not all hope is lost. Policymakers are still pushing hard to find a multilateral solution to the problem. But if they fail to find one, then the worst is almost certainly yet to come.